Hi, if this is your first time here, I'm Rachel. I'm married to Matt and we have 5 children. They are ages 3, 7, 9, 12, and 19. And this is a dream life. We are living our dream life and we want to help you live yours. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about what holds us back from living our dreams and turning that on its head. We all have reasons why we can't do things. Some of us don't even know what our dreams are. And I want to talk today about those reasons. Maybe it is that your husband's not on board with your dream. Maybe you don't know what your dream is. Maybe you don't have enough money. And maybe you think that success is just for other people. Maybe you think that you're not smart enough. Whatever your reason is, I want to really dig into that today, and you might not like me too much after this video. So your reason is actually an excuse. My reasons were an excuse too. You might think, well, I can't because I have an illness and it prevents me from being able to pursue my dreams. I want to bring your attention to people who they're all over the internet. You can find them anywhere. People with no arms and no legs, but yet they're famous gymnasts. They are speakers. They look at their challenge and they turn it into a reason and they allow it to push them forward. So instead of saying, well, I can't because I'm disabled, they use it to be like, okay, let me prove to you that I can do this. I'm going to get creative and figure out a way that I can do this, even with these limitations. And so then that person, we're like standing back watching them and we're in awe. I watched a guy on YouTube the other day and he was playing guitar with his feet. And I was just like blown away. I don't know if you've seen this guy, but he's pretty cool. So whatever your limitation is, don't let it hold you back. I want you to ask yourself the question, are you one of those people that is always finding the reason why it won't work for you? As soon as someone says something, do you shut it down and say, oh, that wouldn't work for me because XYZ? The reason that we do this, myself included, is because we haven't been living a very fulfilling life and we're not where we hoped we'd be in life at this point. And so we're looking around us for evidence to justify why we're where we are at. And this is an example of not taking personal responsibility. We need to be able to sit with ourselves and say, okay, my past decisions and circumstances brought me to this point, and take responsibility for what you're going to do now. Some people will say, well, I am not responsible for where I'm at right now. Maybe you were a victim of a car accident or something and you've been horribly injured, or maybe something happened to you that someone else did to you and you have been a victim of that. You may not have been able to control the circumstances of what happened, but you are 100% responsible and able to decide what you do with it. You can stay a victim your whole life, or you can ask the good question, what does this make possible for me? What beauty can I bring out of this? What can I accomplish and achieve because of this? And when you start asking those questions, you're going to start seeing different results. You're going to start coming up with new solutions to your problems, and you're going to find that you're able to really create a beautiful life out of what you thought was an impossibility. Reasons are just excuses to justify where we're at, like I said, and you will find what you're looking for. What I mean by that is, if you're looking for a reason that it won't work, you'll find one, absolutely. If you're looking for a reason that it will work, you will also find that. What you focus on will flourish and what you neglect will die. I know you've heard this before, and I've said it in some of my other videos. What's really going on here is that your brain is amazing And your brain works hard to find evidence to prove what you believe. So if you believe you can't, your brain will go to work for you to find reasons why you're right. Your brain is trying to prove you right all the time, trying to give you proof and evidence that what you believe is correct. So if you want something different, you actually just have to change what you believe. And then your brain cooperates and starts looking for that evidence instead. If you are dating a new guy and you're all excited about him and whatever, and he has a red truck, then all of a sudden you notice red trucks everywhere. They're like, your brain is like picking them up like this. They're seeing them in parking lots and driving by in your peripheral. And before, you never noticed red trucks before you met this guy. So your brain is paying attention to what's important to you. Your brain is paying attention to what you believe. And what you believe is what you're actually going to get. You're not going to get something that you don't believe. So people are like, oh, if I win the lottery. So I have a story about that. I met a lady a long time ago, and she was a drug addict, and she lived in a trailer, and she looked bad. Like, physically she looked pretty rough. And my coworker told me that she won $1 million. She won the lottery, and it ruined her life. She used to be happy. She used to be healthy. She didn't have a drug problem. And when she won all this money, she didn't know what to do with it because her belief and who she was hadn't changed. And so the money didn't fix her problems. It magnified the problems. And I'm just using this as an example because all the success in the world, it's actually just going to magnify the problems that you have now. You have to be faithful with the little, and then you will be promoted, and then you will have much more. But you don't want to be promoted if you can't handle little problems. If you can't handle $100, then you can't handle $1 million. You'll make a bigger mess with that. Your current results are not a reflection of who you are today. Your current results are a reflection of decisions that you made in the past. And I know I already said that, but you don't need to beat yourself up about where you're at right now. You need to make decisions for future you. What are you going to do for your life, for you, for your future? And you can make different decisions right now that will have a different impact. The next 5 years are going by anyway, so you may as well do something good with it. Maybe you're saying, well, I don't have the money to do all this stuff. Well, that's past you again. The reason you don't have the money right now is because past you didn't make decisions to change that. Present you can totally make decisions that will help you to earn money, and you need to get creative. Use your excuse and turn it into your reason to pursue the thing that you want. I'm sure you've heard this before too, that the only difference between you and someone who is successful is that the person who is successful is willing to do the things that you're not willing to do. And they're willing to get out of their comfort zone and to learn a new skill and to try that new thing that scares the daylights out of them, scares the pants off them. I'm not super comfortable getting up here and making videos, but my life has been changed, and I am excited to help other people change their lives. And so I am getting over myself. And I had to learn how to use this platform. I had to learn how to edit videos. I had to learn what recording equipment to use and all this stuff. I'm not techie, guys, like at all. Ugh, gives me a headache just thinking about it. But you can do a little bit at a time, and you get there and you learn. You need to, if you don't have skills, fine, learn some skills. With the internet right now, you can learn anything. You do not need to pay money to go to school. You can plumb your own bathroom, you can renovate your kitchen, you can rebuild an engine, you can learn how to make the fanciest cupcakes you've ever seen, all on the internet. It doesn't matter. It is not an excuse to not do it. So if you don't have the skill, get out there, commit the time, and get that skill. You might say, well, I don't have time. We all have 24 hours in a day. All of us, every single person on this planet has 24 hours in the day. We are choosing what we're doing with that time. I will do another video about time management because I'm super passionate about it, and I could get all over that one. But you have time. You just need to sit down and look at what you're using it for. Maybe start with your cell phone and track yourself how long you're on it every day. You might be surprised that you actually have 7 free hours a day. Some people, not everybody, but 7 free hours a day that you could be learning something or doing something towards your goals. Comfort and convenience are the absolute enemy. You do not, if you're comfortable right now and everything is convenient, you might want to take a look at life. Life is supposed to be challenging in a good way. We are not supposed to be comfortable. So recording this video right now, it's super uncomfortable for me. I have chocolate sitting on the bed right there, waiting for me so that I have some visual motivation. That's why I keep looking over there. Some motivation to keep myself accountable to doing this. My heart's racing. I kind of feel kind of shaky right now, but it doesn't matter. When you're pursuing something, it needs to make you a bit uncomfortable, and then you start to get used to it. You start to feel comfortable. That's when you push through a little further and go to the next level. If you're constantly in a state of comfort, you're not growing. Growth is supposed to be uncomfortable. This next one you might disagree with me on, but hear me out. And I don't know if you're a person of faith or not, but in the Christian community, I've heard this a lot, and I'm sure that it's out there and that you've probably heard it. And that is, someone will want to do something and they'll pray about it, which I am in total agreement with that. Come up against an obstacle and they're like, oh, it must not be God's will. He's not moving me in that direction right now. I'm not feeling led. He's closed the door. Perhaps there will be a different opportunity, and they call it quits. And I really believe that God probably does a facepalm almost every single time that we have that conversation with ourselves. He has created us. He's the creator, in my opinion. He's the creator, and he has created us as creators. That is how he designed us, to create. We all have passions and desires that are naturally within us, and we are supposed to take those things and run with it. I know in our school system right now, everyone is supposed to be equally good. We're supposed to be trying to get, A's in all the subjects and have this well-rounded education, but there's very little focus on pursuing what a person is passionate about, pursuing what it is naturally intriguing to someone. And I think a lot of people are missing out on living a life that feels fulfilling because they're not pursuing any of that. God put it in them to begin with. So here are just some examples. If we didn't have Einstein, we wouldn't have some of the major breakthroughs that we had with mathematics. If Thomas Edison hadn't pursued his passion, we wouldn't have the light bulb, which I'm using one right now so that you can see me. It makes our quality of life so much better. Was it Henry Ford that did the whole car thing? My husband's a car guy. He's probably like eye rolling right now that I don't know this. I should know this. Okay, we'll just say Henry Ford. Was he the first guy to make a car? I think so. Anyway, he kind of had the market on that, and we all use cars, and we're super grateful. It's made our lives a lot richer. So what if we all pursued the thing that we're passionate about? What if my daughter, who's an artist, really pursued that, like above academics? Like, yes, she needs some basics. She needs to know to wash her hands and how her body works and blah, blah, blah. But does she need to know about chemistry and this and that and the next thing? That's debatable. What if she just pursued artwork and produced magnificent art for us to enjoy, to bring joy to life? What if I didn't pursue my goal and my dream and what makes me passionate? There's nothing that excites me more than being able to come alongside someone who is really struggling and really not enjoying their life at all, and helping them create a vision and action steps to be able to see that come to fruition, to see that manifest in their life. There's nothing that excites me more than that. So I'm terrified. I don't feel like getting up every day and doing videos and creating content and writing scripts and all of this stuff, learning tech. I don't feel like doing that. There isn't a day where I want to do those things that are behind the scene. I want the impact. I want the transformation for the person, but it's not going to happen if I don't show up. So don't wait till you feel like it. You're never going to feel like it. You're never going to feel like doing any of it. But the more you do it, the easier it is to do it, and the more it becomes who you are. And then you get to push yourself even more. So fun. So take a few minutes, write down what your excuses are, turn them into your reasons, and think about what you are super passionate about, what gets you excited. Just take some time to think about these things. And if you don't know, don't worry, just keep watching these videos and I'll continue bringing content to you, whether I feel like it or not, to help you uncover some of this stuff and actually start to get some traction in your life. I heard something recently from someone, and they said that the word distraction is when you stop having traction. And I was like, oh, that's good. We are so distracted right now. So instead of paying attention to all these foolish notifications and things that are distracting us all over the internet, social media, whatever, the games on your phone, instead of paying attention to those things, start focusing in on where you want to go. Because if you don't focus on anything and you just focus on the excuses, you'll just stay in the same place you are right now. And if you're okay with that, then that's fine. But if you don't want to stay where you're at right now, then this is what you've got to do to be able to get out of it. Then you'll be setting an example for your children, showing them that you really can create a beautiful life. And that is what God wants for you. I hope that you've enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching it. I hope it was interesting and that you learned some new things from it. Please take a second, like it, share it, and please subscribe. And I will continue making these videos. I am excited to do this with you, and I'll see you in the next video.